This is the box art to Kingdom Hearts 2. I love this box art, but even more than Kingdom Hearts 2's box art, I love Kingdom Hearts 1's box art. This box art has a special place inside of my heart, especially all the PS2 box arts. Let's talk about Oni. This box art was crazy. Onimusha 3, I don't know why I enjoyed this, but it felt like the artists were getting paid a decent chunk of change, maybe copper, silver, or gold, and this made me feel doobly goobly inside of my tummy. It made me feel as though these games were a part of an artist project. From the instant I saw the cover art of the game, these games held something deep impressions inside of my heart. As a matter of fact, have you ever held a Nintendo 64 cartridge? You ever hold a Pokemon Stadium cartridge such as this? As a matter of fact, have you ever even decided in your life to go out and look at just a Sega Genesis? In general, just look at a Sega Genesis. They look cool. All physical media to me is beautiful. I love it deeply. I think it's some of the greatest piece of artistic endeavors to ever happen. You ever have to blow inside of one of these cartridges? You have to blow inside of them and then they tell you that actually damages the wiring, but it made it work somehow. It made it work when you blew inside the Nintendo 64 cartridge. You ever have a spindle disc cleaner that you put alcohol on the back of, a little spray, and you spin it, and then you pray that the PS2 game would work? Yeah, physical media had a little bit of quirks, but I prefer it over digital media. But it sucks. It genuinely sucks. I wouldn't even say I prefer it. Let me phrase that better. I don't think I prefer physical. I don't prefer physical media, mostly because of me. All right, let's talk about physical media and digital media and all this stuff. And before you go out of your way and say, oh, he's a shill for digital media, this brother likes playing for subscriptions, I want to be very clear and real with you right now. It is deeply insulting to me knowing a company can reach through the screen quietly and take something that I paid for. They can revoke my access. They can say this is off limits to a black man. Huh, ridiculous. I hate that. They can shut down servers. They can say your purchase sucks. It's just a long-term rental. That's all it was. And I think to myself, well, I want to feel like I own this forever. I ask you a real question for a second, right? I ask you a real question. Do you still own any of your PS2 games, or your PS1 games, or your GameCube games, or your Xbox games, or your 360 games? If you do, you're better than me, because I've lost all of them. I don't have a single disc in my household. I don't have any of them. I don't. Now, there is a genuine statement to be said about how ownership has been replaced with permission, and permission can be revoked by people who have never met you and never will. That sucks. But I cannot pretend with some sacred, flawless kingdom that physical media was that. It was not sacred or flawless. It was fragile. It was temperamental. It was sometimes straight up disrespectful to my existence. One tiny scratch. One hairline fracture. One of them. Your favorite game is broken completely. Let me explain something very specifically. This is Onimusha Dawn of Dreams. This is the game about Soki, Oni of the Ash. It is a PS2 game. It is a very fun game. I discovered this game because I played all the other Onimushas beforehand because they are reminiscent of the Resident Evil series, but then they became their own thing. Soki Oni of the Ash was also in Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. I am pretty bad at fighting games. I enjoy them though, and I love this game. I didn't have disc 2 because when I bought this from Blockbuster, they forgot to give me disc 2. So I beat half of the game, and disc 2 was gone forever. Didn't know where it went. Confused the mess out of me. Didn't even know why it came on 2 disc. It messed up my week. Outside of freezes right before the best moments, blowing into a disc, I'm performing CPR on this plastic is what I'm doing, and I'm hoping the universe takes pity on me because I messed up because I was a kid and I was dumb. And thinking that I was going to be an adult and better at taking care of physical media. No, adults suck at taking care of physical media too. My dad was bad at it. He has so many discs that don't work, and we're praying that it works inside of the DVD player or the VHS player. And what happens is that there's film inside of VHS tapes. There's film inside of it. I believe it's VCRs or something like that, right? I think it's VCRs. Video recorder is VCRs. And the film will mess up. The film messes up. This is stupid. It's so cruel how you could lose everything on physical media. And you have so many responsibilities. Cases that cracked, discs that just vanished, siblings that borrowed things and never returned them, that constant low-grade anxiety of knowing one careless moment could erase hours of progress, years of attachment, and I didn't have a backup plan. I didn't have any money as a kid. And as an adult, I barely have any money now. The skipping, the freezing, the moments where the game would glitch out and you would stare at the screen. It's bad. And these weren't rare events. They're part of the experience baked into that. And it felt fun, like you were problem solving. It felt as though you could figure it out. You took it to GameStop and they cleaned your disc. And that was the fun service they offered. Or maybe you go to your fun little corner store and they'd have a spindle of old bootleg movies at the barber shop or something of that variety. They had that. That's what it is. And then we had to discover that the entire situation, all the used games you played, all that stuff, that was held together very, very thin. Tell you a story. Back in the day, I bought Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2. I got Budokai 2 for the GameCube, very specifically the GameCube. This is very important because there was a big ass fingerprint in the middle of the disc, the middle of the back of the disc. Now, I had gotten this from GameStop. And it was a used copy, and the game was, I believe, $21.99. It was a cheap game. It was in a bargain bin. And I begged my mom to get it, and she got it. I came home, and I didn't play it for the day because I had to do homework. Woke up the next day. It was Thursday. I was getting ready for the weekend. I wanted my friends to come over, and I wanted us all to play together. Now, I was a very fair person back in the day, and I said, I won't touch the game until all my friends come over so we can all play Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2. So Friday comes around, I have my friends come over, we go to the front porch, I hook up my GameCube to the front porch, put the game disc in, and lo and behold, everybody's looking around and saying, oh, where's the game? Well, it's in the disc, it's in there. Turns out the game didn't work. Didn't work at all. Game didn't work at all. So I rode my bike all the way to that GameStop and said, hey, this didn't work, what's going on? And the person said, oh, the disc is messed up, I can clean the disc. So I paid him $7 to clean the disc, went back. Then, now, a total of $28 has been lost, by the way. That's like $1,000 back in the day. It's like $1 billion to me. So, I bring the disc back home. My friends are waiting. It's about 6:30, because it took me a minute to bike. I bagged back. 6:30. 6:30, I put the game disc in. I'm thinking, okay, we're going to have a fun time. It's going to be great. We're all going to take turns on story mode. Game doesn't work again. Game doesn't work again. So, I finally asked my mom. I say, hey, Mom, I know you just got off work. Can you take me back to the thing? She doesn't have the receipt. So, we can't get a new copy. So she says, sorry, looks like you're SOL. I didn't know what SOL meant. I said, I'm a sorry ornery loser. I'm a sorry obese loser. And she said, yes. And so I went back home and I didn't play Budokai 2 until 2 months later when my friend let me borrow his disc. And then I accidentally broke it and we stopped being friends for a year because I broke his disc. That was a traumatizing experience for me. That sucked. That sucked so much ass. Now, the perfect era of video gaming to me and physical and media in general was the interlude part. I figured out I could just take a game, put it on a drive, like a flash drive, or a Google Drive or some drive online, a Dropbox, share it, keep it, preserve it. I can make it exist beyond the limitations of plastic and chance. Suddenly, permanence became real in a way physical media never actually delivered. Digital copies could live forever. Disc could not. If I buy a used game online, my first thought isn't, man, I hope this works. It's, man, I got a deal. I can't even buy used games online. There's no used games on Steam, but just Steam sales. They're all new. I could access anything. Any console, any generation, any region, any language. It's liberating to play. Have you ever heard of, and this is so specific, Battle Stadium Dawn? This is Battle Stadium Dawn. Now, my dad had a Japanese PS2 from a shop in Toledo, Ohio called Video Game Underground, where he actually was able to play this. I wasn't allowed to because I couldn't touch a Japanese PS2. This game, I can play now. I can play this. The level of control that I have now over every piece of media I have is insane because I have a PC. I can just play any game I want to. Any PS2 game, any Xbox game, any Monster Hunter. And people have vast online communities. Back in the day, I just had my friends in my neighborhood and they sucked at video games. I am like the third best player out of the 50 people in these niche discords. And it's so fun. It is so fun to have this. This is community. I can't see their faces. I do need physical connection. I do realize that I do need that, but it's nice to have that. And I want to talk this about because physical media didn't allow that. Physical media was beautiful in a very specific way. It had weight. It had presence. The satisfying ritual of opening a case, flipping through a booklet. It made me feel as if the game's soul was printed onto paper. And that feeling mattered. It genuinely did. It made the experience feel grounded, personal, real. Downloads can't do that. I know that. But if I'm being honest with myself, what I actually miss is not the disc. Wasn't the cases, not the shelves filled with plastic rectangles that all looked cool just to say I had a big collection. What I miss is the version of me that believed having something in my hands meant it was mine forever. Before I understood how fragile that idea was, before I had access to everything all at once as I do right now, before abundance replaced the scarcity and turned everything, all the excitement into overload, I do not crave physical media. I crave the feeling of certainty that used to come with it because I had it. I had these things. I had them. The disc with no scratches. It will never be played again. The thing that holds it is now everywhere. I have access to everything. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that's bad at all. If I want to play an old PS2 game, nothing is stopping me. Literally, nothing is stopping me. Not a single thing. There is something to be said about playing it on the original hardware. That is good. I think that's fun to play the original hardware. And if you can play it on the original hardware, it is fun to get the AV cable adapter and figure out how to hook it up through HDMI and have the interface all interluded through. To be able to play Billy Hatcher. To be able to play Chibi Robo. To be able to play these amazing video games that were on GameCube or PS2 or Xbox. To pick up Fusion Frenzy. Have a good time with your friends and go crazy. To be able to play Jet Set Radio Future and listen to Extra Sugar, Extra Salt, Extra Song with my NSG. That'd be fun. That'd be good. But now I know. Now everyone knows. Ownership isn't real. Obviously, the company can reach to the screen. And they always could, by the way. I think we just didn't read the fine print. I miss disc. But I think I miss the ownership that I used to have more. Physical media wasn't this pantheon that everybody says it was. It wasn't. It had a lot of flaws and faults. It's bad on a lot of fronts. What I do miss is just owning things again. That's what I miss the most. Having the ability to play anything whenever I want to. You guys like my pants? I want to get an opinion on these pants. Very hard to walk in. Do you guys like them? Pretty cool, aren't they? I want to see if you guys like the pants that I have. I got them from Great Lakes Crossing. I want to get a whole fit view if you like the pants. They make a lot of noise every time I move. It sounds like a bunch of buttons going crazy everywhere. I don't know if you can hear that throughout the... I don't know if the mic picks it up. It's a pretty good microphone. I don't think it picks up anything. But outside of that, you can play Fusion Fall, by the way. You know you can play Fusion Fall? Fusion Fall is a game you can play. I don't know if you guys know what Fusion Fall is. Old Cartoon Network game. It sucked. It's a horrible game. I think I'm level 15 in the game. Horrible game. Horrible game to play. Just not fun to play at all. I mean, you can play it. You can play it. Outside of that, let me know how you feel about physical media. Let me know if you think I'm an idiot and a shill, which most people will let me know. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hopefully making it this far in the video. If you did make it this far in the video, I have a Patreon that offers absolutely nothing. But outside of that, have a lovely day or night wherever you're at. I'm out. Peace. Bye.
I'm your Nick and night, be my loyalty low. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you're free.